Hello and welcome to Mission Alive. Recently I was talking to you about memories, about remembering. I remember very clearly when I was going to Papua New Guinea, everybody in the family came to see me, visit me. And my Uncle Fred, Dad's brother, came from a long way up north down to say goodbye. And when he got to our place and we were talking, he said, "Where are you going, love?" And I said, "I'm going to Milne Bay, Uncle Fred." And he said, "Oh, Milne Bay. Well, remember this, a place is what you make it." I think I've told you that before. A place is what you make it. He was remembering a Milne Bay that was very, very awful, where they had no medication, where they were really, really sick with malaria, where they didn't have enough food, where the Japanese were taking over, where the enemy was stronger than they were, where they were called upon to fight to drive the enemy back, and they did. It was the first big defeat in the Pacific, the first time that the Allied armies had really made a positive mark. But it cost them a lot. It cost them lives, it cost them limbs, it cost them a lot of bad things. So he remembered that Milne Bay, and he said to me, "A place is what you make it." I think Jesus must have often thought that when he was traveling around Israel, when he was traveling around Judea, especially when he was traveling around Judea where he was totally rejected by the scribes and the Pharisees. When he was up north in his own area in Israel, well, things weren't so bad. He was accepted. People did come and ask him to help them. All the people who came to ask Jesus to help them, if you look in the New Testament, come from Israel, not from Judea. He did cure people in Judea. He cured the man born blind. But the ones who came to him, even a centurion, the 10 lepers, the Syrophoenician woman was way up north, way further than Israel even, a foreigner. They all came from the north. So the apostles had memories. And their memories they wrote down in the New Testament. This was how they remembered Jesus. They remembered him as a man who got tired. They remembered him as a man who had nowhere to lay his head, as a man who gave food to the hungry, a man who accepted children, laughed with them and sat them on his lap, a man who stopped a poor widow when she was taking her son to be buried and gave him back to her alive. A man that helped anybody who came to him, even Pharisees. When Jairus the Pharisee came to Jesus, Jesus helped him. People in the synagogue on a Sunday, on the Sabbath, their Saturday, Jesus helped them. Jesus had memories. And the apostles had memories, and they wrote those memories down. While a place is what we make it, often we are what our memories make us. We can remember the bad, the awful, the horrible things that happened to us, or we can remember the positive things that happened to us and let them change our life. Not to become hard and bitter and miserable and mournful because this happened to me, this happened to me, this happened to me. But to remember, yes, this happened to me. I remember. I remember when these people helped me. I remember when these people gave us food. I remember when this man took my mother to the hospital in his car. I remember when this man stopped to help us when my father fell over in the street. He stopped and picked my father up and put him in the car and took him home. I remember those things. I remember my father saying, "Now I have changed my mind about that kind of people. I didn't think that kind of people would help me. And yet today, when I fell over in the street, they were the first ones to stop. Foreigners they were. They stopped, they picked me up, they put me in the car. I said to them, 'No, I can walk now.' They said, 'No, we will take you home. Where do you live?' 'I live just down the street, I can walk.' 'No, get in the car.' So my father got in the car, they turned their car around, drove down to the end of the street, turned around and dropped him in front of his door, and then took him into the front door to make sure he was safe. When my mother opened the door, she was quite surprised, but Dad said, "These people helped me." These are the memories that change our lives. What was the memory that changed Thomas' life? "Thomas, put your hand in here. Thomas, put your hand in and touch my side." Memories. Keep your memories and let them change you for the better. Goodbye.